Welcome back, Truth Seeker. I want to start off by saying that gambling is not a good thing. That said, a lot of people in this world gamble, and gambling, like many things, is an addiction. And a good thing to do in this world is help addicts alleviate their problem. And for most gamblers, the problem is they just can't stop doing it and they just keep losing. The people who follow me, however, they don't lose. They might lose a day here and there, but overwhelmingly they win. And if you tune into my Patreon page, day after day, you hear people call in and thank me. Man called in today, he said, 2 days ago I had $20, I've turned it into $500. Thank you very much for what you do. That said, football season's underway, and out of all the sports that are easy to decode, football's the easiest. And last night, the preseason game, I told my followers, take the Broncos and take the under. If you took those two bets, you went 2 for 2. The Broncos won, and the score was the under. If you want to know what an under means, the game had to be either above 34.5 points or below 34.5 points. So if there were 34 combined points scored, you'd be on the right side of the under. I thought there might be 33 points scored, which is on the under, in tribute to Super Bowl 33, which the Broncos defeated the Falcons in. Instead, number 33 scored the first touchdown. That was the tribute. The final score was 14-10, 24 points. And we're going to get to why 14 points were scored. 7 in the first quarter, 7 in the fourth quarter. But anyway, the point is, sports are scripted, and by understanding the knowledge that I teach, you can see through the script. You can prove it game after game, preseason, regular season, championship season. It's always the same thing. And the beauty of having this knowledge is you don't have to bet a lot to make a lot. We've been cleaning up in PGA golf. Golf has huge odds. $5 bet can turn into $100, week after week. So anyway, let's look at this game-winning play for the Broncos last night. Remember, before the game was played, I pointed out that John Elway was the MVP of Super Bowl 33, where the Broncos defeated the Falcons, scoring 34 points, just like how the Patriots defeated the Falcons, scoring 34 points, and not by accident. You use this knowledge, you can see through the score of every Super Bowl. They're all scripted. So 34 days after John Elway's birthday was this game. And again, if you watched our live stream yesterday before we even decoded, I was talking about the significance of 34 and John Elway. And then we went and looked at how many days the game was from his birthday, and we all laughed together because it was 34 days after. And of course, Atlanta Falcons equals 139, which is the 34th prime. Falcons equals 25 and 34. Patriots had the 25-point comeback on the Falcons on February 5th, 2/5, winning with 34. And, of course, that was the 97th NFL season, which is the 25th prime number, which is why they moved the touchback to 25 yards that year, which is why they had the scripted 25-point comeback. Anyhow, the winner, the player who scored the winning touchdown for last night's game, Juwann Winfree, caught the winning touchdown. His birthday is September 4th. Notice his birthday is 34 days after the game. For one more 34. And look at his name, Juwann. Juwann equals 34. This is going to be the 100th NFL season. That was the first winning play of the 100th NFL season. When you write out 100, it equals 34. This is how perfectly scripted they have it all last night. And I saw Champ Bailey was interviewed during the game, and he said his career couldn't have ended with a better script, signaling that these players know that they're actors. And this is all athletic theater. Notice also the name Juwann Winfree equals 71, like Denver Broncos, the guy who scored the winning touchdown for them. Now look at the final play. 1:26 left. That's 86 seconds. Just using the alphabetic order, Broncos is 86. But notice the play was 4th and 14. 4th and 14. On the 4th and 14 play, they scored the touchdown that gave them 14 points with the extra point. What's the symbolism of 14? So again, by the way, here's the Super Bowl 33 Winning score 34-19. So let's go over how 14 factors in. The starting quarterback last night for the Broncos was their rookie, Andrew Stephen Locke, whose name equals 76. The Denver Broncos had not won a Hall of Fame game since 1976. And Matt Ryan, who's the starting quarterback for the Falcons, who didn't play last night, the game happened to be 76 days after his birthday. Again, the Broncos hadn't won since 76. Andrew Stephen Locke, 76. 1976 was 43 years ago, and Colorado equals 43, as does football. 43 is the 14th prime number. So the Broncos score 14 points last night. They score 1 touchdown in the first quarter, 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter, 1-4, and the winning touchdown on a 4th and 14. You see how perfect it is? And of course, Broncos and Falcons games are often synced up with the Pope, as are the Saints, things we've covered several times over the years. Last night's game happened to be 139 days from the Pope's birthday, again, which is the 34th prime number. Atlanta Falcons, 139. Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, has the Jesuit Order's birthday. Pope Francis is the first publicly Jesuit Pope. Notice Andrew Stephen Locke, the name equals 266. Pope Francis is the 266th Pope. He's the first publicly Jesuit Pope. IHS, the Jesuit acronym. That term in Latin sums to 266 and 122, like Pope Francis, the 266th Pope. Again, here's Arthur Blank, born September 27th. The Jesuit colors are red and black like the Falcons. Super Bowl 51 that they were in was a span of 51 days from the Pope's birthday. He blessed that Super Bowl. Again, the Jesuit birthday, September 27th. So I just want you to understand how perfectly crafted all these rituals are. And what it really does go to show is that these people on the football field were born and bred to be. They're not the best in the world. They're the ones that were raised and named and birthed accordingly for their future rigged and scripted roles. And everything is just so perfectly coordinated from preseason to the Super Bowl. Now, what set up that winning play was right here. An interception at the 38-yard line. And like I always say, football's scripted from the final score to the box score to the hash mark. The last time the Falcons lost, or excuse me, the only time the Falcons ever played a Hall of Fame game on August 1st before this year was August 1st, 1981. They lost to the Browns. That was exactly 38 years ago, something we talked about in the decode prior to the game being played. So 38 years later, look for history to repeat itself. Falcons equals 38, as does Colorado, where the Broncos come from. An interception late in the game at the 38-yard line to set up the winning touchdown drive by the numbers. And again, you learn this code. You can verify game after game that it's this way. I was doing this last year in the preseason, in the regular season, in the playoffs. You know, just showing people. This is how it is. And, 34 is all over the place. The Falcons' leading passer had 34 pass attempts, not by accident. The Broncos as a team had 29. Football's 29. See how they do it? Now, I want to show something else real quick about this Brett Rypien who threw the winning touchdown to Juwann, as we just covered. Brett Rypien. Check this name out. Brett Rypien. You see the 145 in that name? Look at Catholic. Catholic's 145. You see that? You see the 71 in Catholic? Look at Denver Broncos. 71. And how many years have I been talking about these Catholic connections with the Denver Broncos? Remember Jake Butt, the tight end who last year on the Jesuit Order's birthday, September 27th, supposedly injured himself and missed the season? He was drafted out of Michigan. By the way, look at Michigan, 46. Look at Catholic, 46. Jake Butt played at Michigan. He was coached by Harbaugh. Harbaugh met the Pope, shook hands with him, exchanged gifts, and then the next day, Jake Butt fell to the 145th pick in the draft after being projected to go in the first round. See how this stuff is? And again, the name of the receiver who caught the winning touchdown, his name was also 71. And the whole thing was synced up with the Pope's birthday. Go back and visit my work last year on the Pope and the Christopher Columbus Day games, where the Saints genocided the Redskins the same day the Indians and Braves were eliminated from Major League Baseball. Notice genocide equals 62. The Saints won 43-19, 62 points. By the way, Saints is 19. DC is 4-3, the fourth letter, the third letter, 43-19 over the Washington Redskins. But genocide 62. Go look at the score of the Braves game getting eliminated on Christopher Columbus Day. The score was 6-2, and the Indians got eliminated that day as well. Of course, Christopher Columbus, paid for by the Catholic Church, journaled about how easy it was to wipe out the natives who had no gunpowder. And go look at how the Saints, which equal 82, took the league's best record of 8 wins, 2 losses on the Pope's 82nd birthday last year. And just go see all the other things we've covered over the years. I mean, it's just a joke. It is just a joke. By the way, the Pope's going to turn 83 this year during the football season. Look out. It's going to be a big year for the Pope in football. Just watch. This first game is no accident. And by the way, the team from Colorado took it. Colorado's 83, like football. Notice Colorado's 83, 133, 43, just like football. See how they do it? The reason they do it is because the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry and the Jesuit Order, which might as well be one and the same, they are the two entities that control football from the shadows and create these scripts that the announcers are always trying to clue you into. They couldn't have scripted it any better. And if you missed yesterday's video, be sure to check it out because I talked about the ritualistic deaths that coincided with all of this. So, don't want to be too redundant, but, like I say, there's always more. There's always more. Until next time, Truth Seeker. Oh, and if you do want to sign up for the Patreon, it's only $5 a month. You get tons and tons of content. We cover all sports. You won't be disappointed. Till next time.